Hello everyone. Today I want you to imagine yourselves on a boat and you're driving away from the coastline towards the horizon. Once you're out of sight of land, you gear up and jump over the side. As you descend, all you can see are bubbles, and once those clear, you see a school of fish swimming by you. And then as you descend even further, you see a shadow in the distance. And as you get closer and closer, you see that it's a shipwreck. Now, what you think about doing with that shipwreck is what determines if you're an underwater archaeologist or a treasure hunter. If you think, how can I record this and study it, you're an underwater archaeologist. If you look at it and say, what can I find on here that I can sell on eBay, then you're a treasure hunter. I'm an underwater archaeologist myself, and I've conducted a lot of research into this topic, especially on the difference between treasure hunting and archaeology, as well as how treasure hunters have to deal with the government and how they're able to sell their artifacts. And today I want to illustrate to everyone the different methods that treasure hunters and underwater archaeologists use and how these methods are affected by the intentions of underwater archaeologists or treasure hunters. Treasure hunters are motivated by profit, so they're looking for any gold or artifacts they can find to sell. Underwater archaeologists are there for research, so they're looking to test hypotheses. They're looking at theories about site formation and the wrecking process, which is when they study why the wreck looks the way it does, what happens to it as it goes down in the water. They're also looking to examine artifacts to find out more about shipboard life, what it was like to live on the boat, and they're also looking at vessel typologies to look at dating of future wrecks that they find. Now that you know the main difference between their intent, let's look at the difference in the methods between treasure hunters and underwater archaeologists. Treasure hunters use techniques that have no regard for conservation. They usually come in and they use a technique called prop washing, which is where they use their propeller to blow away the sediments and reveal the shipwreck. They'll often go in with power tools and rip apart most of the wreck to find the gold or the artifacts, whatever they think is in there. Usually they're going for big name shipwrecks as well, not just anything. They don't mind destroying portions of the shipwreck. They're just there to find what they can. As opposed to that, underwater archaeologists are more delicate. They're not supposed to destroy anything to find information. They go down with a recording system for the artifacts. They take measurements and drawings of the entire shipwreck. They draw and measure any artifacts that they find, and they keep that recording for future researchers. They usually conserve the site. That means that they stabilize what they find so that if a future researcher wants to come in and dig it up again, it's still going to be there. They also will record environmental conditions like salinity, temperature, pH, and whatever sediment type the vessel is lying in. The reason why they use these different techniques is obviously, like I said before, because of their intent. If a treasure hunter wants to come in and find something for sale, they obviously want to get something as quickly as possible so they can get it up and sell it and make money. That's how they keep their business alive, and that's what they do. Underwater archaeologists are more interested in, well, not that they're not interested in making money, but they're interested in researching, and so they take their time. Usually excavations take years, whereas a treasure hunter will usually go in, research. It might take years for them to find the wreck, but once they find the wreck, they're out, in and out within a matter of months. Now, they can be tied up in a long court battle, which is notable from the CSS America, Central America, which was tied up in a court battle with the state of North Carolina over the sale of artifacts. And other shipwrecks that have been found are the Queen Anne's Revenge, that they brokered, Intersol is the company that found them, they brokered a deal with the state to sell the artifacts, but still keep their license to look for shipwrecks off of North Carolina. In conclusion, I hope that in listening to this speech, you have a better idea of the difference between treasure hunters and underwater archaeologists. Treasure hunters are motivated by profit. They're looking for artifacts and gold, and usually in the quickest way possible, and they use methods so that they can find them as quickly as possible, such as prop washing and destroying bits of wreck. Underwater archaeologists are motivated by research and education, and therefore they use techniques such as documenting the site with measurements and drawings, recording pH and salinity and other environmental conditions, and looking at the cultural aspects of the wreck, such as what it was like to live aboard it, items that you would find for daily life on the wreck. They use research techniques that deal with not harming the wreck and try to conserve it for future generations. Thank you for your time and attention today, and it was a pleasure speaking with you.